It's obvious the things that Errol Spence has been saying and doing. Errol Spence is a clout fighter. He's not a fighter who fights the best because he wants to be the best. Errol Spence is a clout fighter, paycheck fighter, or whatever you want to call it. Errol Spence has no interest in fighting the best. That's not what he does. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to question, what do you value in your fighter? Do you value names or competition? Because it's obvious that you don't need to be an elite fighter for Errol Spence to want to fight you. All you would need is to have some steam coming off your name. And that's where you have to ask the question, is it cool to just fight fighters because of their name? Hence, Adrian Broner versus fighting fighters for their skills. Hence, Ugas. Okay? We all know Ugas is a good fighter. We all know he's a great opponent. We all know that's a good matchup. We all know that that's a good fight to watch. We all know that. But Errol Spence claims he doesn't want to fight him because he's not a big enough name. And it makes you question if he's strap season or whatever he claims to be, and he really wants to be the best. How can you want to be the best when the best in the division might not have the clout and the name that you are requesting them to have in order to make the fight? That's the problem with Errol Spence. Now, if you want to be a clout chasing fighter, you want to be a prize fighter, a purse chasing fighter, say that. Danny Garcia has made that known. He's like, man, I'm chasing the check. You know what I'm saying? So he made it clear what his objectives was. So I knew how to view him and handle him when it comes to talking about Danny Garcia and expecting him to fight this person, that person. He made it clear it's just about the money. But Errol Spence has made it clear that it's about being the best or being the number one. So I think Errol Spence needs to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate what he's presenting to the people. Is it that you want to be the biggest star but not necessarily the best fighter? Or do you really want to be known as the best fighter in the division, coupled along with getting the notoriety and the fame and the money that comes with it? Which one is it? Because everybody knows Ugas is skilled. And truthfully, I know why Errol Spence would avoid Ugas. Ugas will beat Errol Spence. You guys say you're a fan of boxing, I don't know how you guys assess fights and fighters and stuff like that. It totally baffles me. But it shouldn't be hard to figure out that somebody like Ugas would beat Errol Spence off conditioning and discipline alone. Okay? Alone. Ugas will beat Errol Spence. I would put any amount of money on that. Okay? Now, being that we know that about Ugas, who else do we know is skilled to the gills? Terrence Bud Crawford. So it seems to be, when it comes to the most skilled in the division, Errol Spence don't want to have nothing to do with them because he's claiming they don't have the name. But these are the best fighters in the division, so do you want to be the best or not? Okay? Now, on top of that, to let you know that, it's because he don't have a big enough name, this is how I'm going to decipher that that's bullshit, because I'm only going off what you give me and what you say. Now, you say you don't fight a person because they have a big enough name, right? Now watch this. Then you turn around and say, no, it took me a long time to get in this position. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to dictate it and do what I want. Meaning, when I was trying to get the fights, you guys was dicking me around. Now it's my turn to do the same thing to other people. So this is the thing. How could you say that and in the same breath turn around and say, well, I don't want to fight you because you're not a big enough name? But then again, at the same time, you turn around and say, well, when I was trying to get the fights, they wasn't trying to fight me. So I'm just doing the same thing that they did to me because I earned this position, and now it's my turn to do what Keith Thurman has done to me. But at the same time, when Keith Thurman was doing what you're doing to other people, you complained and you said it was some punk shit. You called him a ducker. He's avoiding it. He don't want to fight the best. He needs to retire. He needs to give up the belt. He needs to do all that stuff. Remember that stuff, Earl? All that stuff is a contradiction to what you have been saying. Either you want to be the best in the division or you don't. Either you're not fighting these fighters because they don't have a big enough name, or because people did the same thing to you when they was in position. Now you want to do it to other people because you claim you worked hard to get in this position, and you're not too willing to let somebody come up and get their way because you didn't get your way when it was your turn to be challenging these top tier fighters, and they wasn't trying to give you the time of day. So now it's your time to do that to other people. But you complained about it when it was you, and you denounced it and said that that's not what real champions do. I'm just pointing out the obvious, and that's why somebody like Errol Spence won't fight a Ugas, doesn't fight a Terrence Crawford, because fighting the best is really not on his itinerary. He's satisfied with appearing like he's the best while getting paid like he's the best. That's really what he's want, but he doesn't have no edge in him. So I'm going to just classify Errol Spence as a prize fighter and nothing more. I'm going to group him with Danny Garcia. In quiet kept, he going to have problems with Danny Garcia. You know, I don't know how y'all don't see that, but I'm going to digress on that. But that's where I'm going to put him. Therefore, I won't expect nothing of him. I won't expect what I expected of Roy Jones Jr. I'll put it like that. I won't expect that from Errol Spence. I won't expect him to be competitive. You know what I'm saying? Or want to challenge himself or whatnot. And at the eye of the time, it's going to be hard to really condemn people like Errol Spence, because people can turn around and they will be completely justified. People can turn around and talk about, well, look at Canelo. He ain't trying to challenge himself. He's trying to take the path of least resistance too, and he's a star of boxing. And you know what I would have to say? That's a good ass fucking point. Anyways, those are just my thoughts. Bruce Van, I'm out.